Hi, this is Dr. Dave, and in this assignment I want to show you how you can use Excel to go ahead and calculate out future values from compound interest. So in order to be able to do this assignment, you have to have some version of Excel installed on your machine, or you can use the Office 365 online. You can install onto your machine or access the online Office if you log into the college's portal and go to the icon that says Office 365. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a worksheet like the one you see right here. In the column A down the left are a bunch of labels, and then in column B on the right are the numbers we're going to use and the amount that we're going to actually come up to calculate, which is this FV. So looking down that first column, we're going to have a space for the number of times you compound in a year. The example I'm going to show you, it's going to be 12. The number of years that we're going to be going, in this case I'm going to show you 3. The APR, or the annual percentage rate, and that's 6%. You can type it in as a decimal or with a percent sign, writing 6 with a percent after it. We're going to look at the rate per period, which we would call I. And in this case, that's just taking the annual percentage rate and dividing it by 12. That's the number that I see right there. NPER is the number of periods, what we would call N, and that's going to be 36, because remember we're doing 3 years, 12 times a year. PMT is what we are going to call later on PMT when we do annuities and mortgages. Here I'm not putting any payments in, I'm just sticking a lump sum of money in and letting it grow. The sum of money that I'm starting with is the present value, PV, and we're going to do $10,000. Because this is money that I'm paying out into an account, it's negative. We're going to calculate out the future value, FV. It's going to come out to be a positive number, because then we're going to take that money back from that account, and we're instead of paying it out, we're receiving it in. Monies paid out are always negative. Monies received are always positive. So let me show you how we can go ahead and create this worksheet. So here is my blank worksheet. And remember, in the first column, I'm going to go ahead and type in those labels. So times compounding in year. Remember, that's what we would call M. All right, we're going to go ahead and click down to the next level. Now remember that this is running out of that cell, so I'm going to go up here between these two cells A and B, these columns. I'm going to drag that over. Next I'm going to put in years, the APR, the rate, what we would call I, which is in fact the rate per period, NPER, number of periods, that would be what we would call N. In the sixth row, we'll put PMT. We also call it PMT, but we usually use capitals for it. Same thing for PV, the present value. We usually use capital PV for that. And the future value is going to be FV. So now I'm going to go ahead and enter the proper numbers in here so that I can have it calculate out the future value. So I'm going to compound this monthly. So in B1, I'm going to type 12. I can either click on the next cell or hit enter. I'm going to go for 3 years. So I'm going to put in a 3, click in the next cell or press enter. I'm going to do 6%. So 0.06, or you can type 6 followed by a percent. And now I need to get the rate per period. Remember, the rate per period is the annual rate divided by the number of times I compound in a year. So I'm going to have it calculate this. So I'm going to type equals. I'm going to type the APR, so I'll click on that. That's in B3. I'm going to do a slash for divide. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on B1, the times I compound in a year. So if I do 6% 12 times a year, that's going to give me a decimal of 0.005, which is 0.5%. Now, same thing for the number of periods. Let's have it calculate that. So anytime I do a calculation, I start with an equals. And to get the number of periods, I have to take the years times how many times I compound in a year. So I'm going to click on the 3. It puts B2 in there. Times. And now I'm going to click on B1. So it's going to do 3 times 12. Press enter. It calculates out the 36 for you. I'm doing no payments here, so I'm going to put a 0 in for payments. And now we're going to do the present value, what I'm going to put into this account. So I'm going to pay out $10,000. So I'm going to put it in as a negative $10,000 because I'm paying this out. So I have all the information for the loan here. Now I'm ready to use the command to calculate out the future value. That command is capital F, capital V. So I'm going to start by typing equals, so it does a calculation, FV, and then a parentheses. It recognizes that I want the future value command, and it says the first thing I need to do is put in the rate. So I'll go up to my rate number, click on it, press comma. Now I need the number of periods, so I'll click on the 36, comma. If I'm making any payments, I'd want to put that in next, so I'll click on the 0 there. And now I need to tell it what the present value is, which is our negative 10,000. End the parentheses, press enter. It tells me that if I deposit $10,000 at 6% compounded monthly, I'm going to end up with $11,966.81. So remember, the numbers that you're using up here are going to be different from mine, but you'll follow the same process to go ahead and enter them. Once you've gone ahead and done that, you're going to want to save this file. So go up to File, Save As. You're going to save it to your hard drive. You're going to call it FV _ your last name. Once you've gone ahead and saved that, return back to the assignment page for this technology assignment and attach that file to that page. Submit it. I will get it for grading, and then I will give you some feedback on that and give you a score.